Okay, Mark with Under Pressure Power Wash. We're going to do a real quick unboxing of this EverFlo diaphragm pump, 12 volt, 7 gallons a minute, and it's 1/2 inch ports on it. We use a lot of these. They work out pretty good, actually. They last. They're well worth the money, I can tell you that. So let's open this. I just got it in the mail. Check it out. Make sure it's not destroyed. What do you get in the box? Well, you get your basic instructions, idiot sheet. Real simple. Now we got the pump. Let's check it out. See if I can get that out. Let's see what we're dealing with here. There we go. Okay, so what do we have here? Let's take a look. This pump will pull about, I was going to say 24 amps, and here it says 23. So you need a good sized marine battery, and you need a really good sized line. Don't use wire like this all the way to the battery. Take your wire from here, strip it off, and use something like a 10 gauge from this to the battery, at least a 10 gauge, and even down to an 8 gauge, so you can feed the pump and don't starve the pump of electricity. If you starve the pump of current, of electricity, it's going to surge, and it's going to overamp, and it's going to heat up the pump. That's why these pumps get hot, because people just don't know what they're really doing. Just putting a wire on here is not how that works, okay? So let's take a look at what else is going on here. You get your motor bracket with the mounts on it. No big deal. You have a micro switch up front. You can adjust your on it. This set screw here. People think that you can adjust the pressure on the pump. You're not adjusting the pressure with this set screw here, okay? All this is the off and on time when the pump will kick off. That's all that is. That's simple as that, okay? These pumps are tested from the factory. They put water in here. They test them. Every one of them. They come with caps on them. When you pull the caps off, you will see water come out of them. Every one is tested. Okay, let's move on. You have a, let's see what size. I believe it's a 30 amp fuse. I'm trying to pull that off. It doesn't want to come off. Give me 1 second. Okay, so there you go. Now this is a 25 amp fuse that it comes with. Those work out pretty decent with a waterproof container there. Inside here is not a capacitor. Inside this, where you think the capacitor is actually a really high-end relay inside here. And that relay, in conjunction with this micro switch, shut the pump on and off. Now, the micro switch is a Honeywell, and this relay, I forgot what brand it is, but they are high-end that you find in real high-end electronics, and well exceed any minimum specifications. I'm going to tell you that they really, don't worry about the on and off cycle of these pumps. As long as you got the right size wire going to your battery, these pumps work really, really well. They last a long time. I've gotten, without even maintaining these pumps, because we test these pumps out and we abuse them, we've had these pumps last 8 months, some a year, some 6.5 months, 8 months. I would say a good everyday use, I'm going to call it 6 months, 6.5 months, if you don't even maintain it. Now here's the thing about pumps. Even if you're going to maintain it, the wet plate in here where the diaphragms are, it doesn't really matter if you maintain this or not, because the chemical that goes through here is going to deteriorate the actual plastic that's on the wet plate in here. So technically it doesn't really matter if you maintain it or not, because it will deteriorate at the same rate no matter what anyway. So what I'm saying to you is, if I tell you this pump is going to last 6 months, yeah, it might go 7, it might go 6.5, you might get 8 out of it, but it will deteriorate that plate in there, and there's nothing you can do about it. On top of that, when these valves in here, they're made out of, obviously everybody knows, the special rubber for the actual, the chemicals in there, and those also will get a little brittle and hard down the road. Then you start losing pressure. You can also know when the pump is getting ready to go by the way it acts. If it starts to lose prime, like you fire it up and it doesn't prime for a second or two, like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, minute and a half, that's because these valves in here are actually starting to go. Anyway, hope that helps you guys out. Have a good one.